For 3 years, I was disabled and unable to stand longer than 15 minutes without losing consciousness. Until last September. My name is Doug Gord from Denver, Colorado, and I'm the founder and inventor of Gord Compression, a medical compression device designed to help people with various health conditions. I'm also among 3 million other Americans who suffer from postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. And I'll explain that with this bottle. POTS is an autonomic nervous system disorder, and one of the main problems is my blood vessels don't constrict properly upon standing. The result is gravity causes blood to pool in the legs, and since the heart's not receiving enough blood, this leads to an extremely fast heart rate. Since the heart's not receiving enough blood, the brain doesn't either, and this leads to cognitive problems, visual issues, and for some people like myself, even fainting. Now I found this quote, which sums up POTS well. Quote, "It feels as though all the blood in my body is rushing to my legs, like the sensation of the blood rushing to your head when you do a handstand, but in reverse." That's not a quote from a POTS patient, though. That's Captain Scott Kelly describing how he felt after returning to Earth after a year in space. In many cases, astronauts returning from space and POTS patients deal with identical symptoms. And there are countermeasures used by both, such as graduated compression stockings. But after surveying patients, there's 3 problems I found with stockings. They're difficult to get on, they're uncomfortable, and they're tough to size correctly. So using an accessible design, Gord Compression addresses these pain points with a measurable, adjustable, and easy to put on compression device. With a functional prototype, I went from often bedridden to walking around daily with full range of motion. Gord Compression utilizes a patent-pending design, including sensors to measure and display the amount of compression applied, a tightening system allowing customizable compression, and an exoskeleton that can be put on in minutes like a normal pair of pants. Now, unfortunately, I don't have access to the test Scott had when he returned from orbit, so I had to develop my own clinical trial that I've been conducting on myself using existing university and NIH research methods. The results? A 26% cognitive improvement using Stroop test, measured heart rate reductions of up to 60 beats per minute with an average drop of 20 beats per minute using an ECG, and a 55% decrease in symptom severity using a 1 to 10 discomfort scale. To quote another astronaut, that's one small step. My focus is the next step. I'm working to build a team, then raise funding and develop a device that can go into clinical trials. And maybe it can help astronauts like Scott someday. But more importantly, if it can help others with POTS, you can look at the $3.1 billion global compression market and help those suffering from other disorders like lymphedema, varicose veins, blood clots, and diabetes. And that's how you make a giant leap.